Oxford AQA. Let me welcome you guys to my session today. Hello Shahd, hello Yusuf, Omar, and Abdullah. I see Abdullah here. Hello Shahd again, a lot of Shahds. Ahmed Ahmed Abdelbari. Hello Ahmed, hello Muhammad. Hello everybody. I wish I haven't missed any one of you. So, assalamu alaikum. Let's get started. As you see here, we have a PowerPoint presentation. It's very simple, and it starts with an introduction to today's session, which would not last very long, inshallah. In today's session, we'll be introduced to the ESL, English as a Second Language subject awarding bodies, the three main awarding bodies, Cambridge, Oxford, AQA, and how can I forget? Pearson Excel. Know all about the exam format, learn how to be an achiever in English as a second language. Inshallah, we will be introduced to how to study very well in order to achieve in the exam. هتعرف ازاي تذاكر كويس وازاي it's a doable subject. It's easy for you, even if your level in English is not, let's say, a super level, how to train yourself and work hard to achieve it. We're going to have some fun with vocabulary today. I will introduce you to some vocabulary words, and at the same time, you will learn and know how we as an English team tackle vocabulary and train our students how to acquire and learn new vocabulary. ازاي بنعودك تتعلم vocabulary جديدة. Demonstrate how the speaking exam works. And for that, you will see a live demonstration of the speaking exam. هتشوف students بيعملوا performance للexam, real exam situation. We'll also tackle some reading questions in today's class based on both Cambridge or Oxford or both of them. Understand how to write a successful paragraph. You'll also meet our English team, show some of our audience feedback and our students' past results. And finally, respond to your questions. Now, let's go to the first thing we're going to work on today, which is introduction to the subject. الأول, what is the English subject and what are the three main awarding bodies? يعني awarding body? An awarding body is the institution or the entity which provides the exam. يعني شبه كده إن في عندنا مثلا 3 or 4 different teachers أو بنسميه بالعربي موجه. This person, this supervisor or this teacher ماله ده اللي بيحط الامتحان. He just organizes the exam. طيب, is it based on the same subject? يعني هم 3 different examinations about the same subject? More or less. تمام؟ يعني السبجكت اسمها ايه؟ English as a second language. طيب الامتحانات بقى جاية من فين ومن فين؟ We have an exam provided by Oxford AQA International, newly added examination boards to the menu of the ESL, and it started in 2018 and it has shown pretty good success, pretty amazing successful here. الثانية ايه? The oldest and the most popular and let's say the scariest one, Cambridge. It is a very good choice for many students. We'll go through this later. Pearson Excel, which is not very popular when it comes to English as second language, but we will discuss it as well. The next is a little comparison, topic by topic, between the 3 examination boards. طيب, سؤال مهم جدا بيطرح نفسه هنا. English as a second language ده امتحان على مادة علمية كاملة. Is it a subject by all means, or is it just a group of skills, a set of skills that you need to acquire? يعني في منهج. في منهج. We have a syllabus. We have units to go through and cover. ايه ده؟ مش دي لغة؟ يعني skills وبس؟ يعني أنا لو شاطر speaking, شاطر listening, شاطر writing, I can easily pass the exam. I'm ready to sit the exam for the exam tomorrow. لا, مش كده. We have a syllabus. We have certain topics that you need to be fully acquainted with or fully aware of. تعال نبص كده. When it comes to Oxford AQA, for example, الستراكشر بتاعنا متقسم ليه؟ 3 different themes: identity and culture. وده في topics تحتيه topics كتير جدا. تمام، وهنشوفها بالتفصيل. تاني theme local, national, international, global areas of interest، وده بيعالج topics like global warming, national issues. Finally, future study and current future employment and current study and interests. طيب بيرسون هتلاقي topics شبهها school، يعني أنا لازم أقرأ عن topics related to school. I need to be introduced to vocabulary relevant to school. I need to write articles about education and school. تمام؟ هنا احنا بنتكلم على ايه؟ بنتكلم على الفريم اللي بيجي منه امتحانات ال writing, reading exams and so on. The media, studying, local neighborhood, travel, home and leisure. Pretty much the same when it comes to Cambridge. You can see on the screen, it's all about school, future plans, current affairs, lifestyle, hobbies and jobs. دول بنسميهم ايه؟ دي التوبكس اللي انت محتاج تدرسها في ايه؟ You're gonna study these topics in speaking. When you practice speaking, they will be based on these given topics. طبعا في كل بورد مختلفة عن الثانية، تمام؟ وفي هنا very important piece of information that you need to know. Speaking is only obligatory in Oxford AQA. طب وبالنسبة لكامبريدج, when it comes to Cambridge and Oxford, I'm sorry, when it comes to Cambridge and Pearson Edexcel, speaking is not mandatory. مش إلزامي. ممكن أخده ممكن لا. والمشهور هنا في مصر إن إحنا for example in the Gulf countries they opt for the speaking choice when it comes to Cambridge exams. دايما عندهم بيمتحنوا speaking في Cambridge. عندنا احنا في مصر لا، بناخد ال 0510 or 0993 وده ما فيهوش speaking. طيب دي كده comparison when it comes to the topics. والtopics قلنا مهمة ليه؟ مهمة علشان التوبكس دي بعد كده هي اللي انت هتذاكر منها writing، وهي دي اللي انت هتذاكر منها reading، هي دي اللي المفروض يبقى عندك فيها expectation to find in the listening exam، وهي دي اللي انت المفروض تبقى fully aware of when it comes to vocabulary and grammatical tools that should be used when you write about similar topics. طيب تعال نشوف كده تعال نشوف كده حاجة مهمة جدا هنا، هي دي شكل الرايتنج A في كل ورقة. الرايتنج هنا في الورقة الأولانية مثلا في، خلينا نمشي كده أفضل علشان دي النقطة اللي أنا كنت بتكلم عليها قبل ما ندخل على موضوع الرايتنج. شكل المنهج، أنا عندي منهج عندي منهج. طيب أنا جايب كامبريدج وجايب أكسفورد وعامل ما بينهم كومباريزن بسيطة جدا علشان أأكد لك على معلومة إن في سيلابس. السيلابس ده عبارة عن اليونتس اللي موجودة اللي الاكزامينر بيحط منها الامتحان في الريدنج، في الرايتنج، في الليسننج، في السبيكنج، وما بيخرجش بره الإطار ده. علشان تقول إنك خلصت وقفلت منهج الإنجليش, to assume that you have fully covered the English syllabus, you need to make sure that each of the given topics has been addressed really well. كتبت عن كل التوبكس دي when it comes to the writing genres. كتبت عنها emails, articles, reviews, blogs, letters. طيب ادي كامبريدج topics قدامنا اهي. travel and tourism, shopping and consumer society, science and nature, health, family, media and films, technology, environmental issues. Compared to Oxford AQA topics, we find that they are pretty much the same. Very close, very similar. يعني range of topics في writing وفي reading وفي listening هنا وهنا بين two examination boards شبه بعض. طيب جميل جدا. البوينت اللي بعدها هي الاكزام لاي اوت. الامتحان شكله ايه؟ طيب when it comes to Oxford AQA لا احنا عندنا 4 different examination papers. Reading paper, writing paper, each one of them weighs 30% of the exam mark وعليها 60 درجة. طيب is it conducted in one day on the same day or separately? They are separate examination papers. كل واحدة فيهم ليها ساعة وربع مخصوص، تمام؟ ودي one very important advantage بالنسبة لأكسفورد AQA. طيب what should I expect in my reading exams؟ عايزكم يا جماعة وانا ماشي طول ما احنا ماشيين try to take screenshots لأن السلايدز اللي قدامك دي very important. الانفورميشن فيها هتساعدك جدا جدا when you try to decide on which examination board suitable for you. وهنا مهم جدا ان احنا نمحي misconception شائع قوي. هو كامبريدج أسهل ولا أوكسفورد أسهل؟ Which one is easier? There is no such thing as Oxford is always easier for everybody or Cambridge is always easier for everyone. No, it depends. It's totally relative here. If your speaking skills are really good and you are not shy of exposing yourself while talking in English, then Oxford AQA is the best fit for you. If you are pretty shy and you are that kind of somebody who likes to express himself on a piece of paper through writing, then Cambridge will be definitely the best fit. بتقولي الكلام ده ليه يا طاهر؟ Based on experience, last year, for example, some really shy students have scored higher in Cambridge than they did in Oxford. I have a student in منارة القاهرة last year in Cairo, مدينة نصر. He scored 192 in Cambridge, and I do believe he lost 12 more marks in Oxford in comparison. مع ان الشائع ان اوكسفورد اسهل. تمام. طبعا بالمقارنه اوكسفورد بيكون اسهل لطلبه كتير جدا جدا. ليه؟ لان هنعرف بعد كده ان في challenges في الليسننج ما بين هنا وهنا. paper 1 in Cambridge in the middle row هي دي البيبر اللي بتجمع الرايتنج والريدنج اللي اتكلمنا عنهم من شويه في اوكسفورد اي كيو اي، ودي بتبقى on the same day، ودي somehow a disadvantage. ليه؟ لان ساعتين ورا بعض بالمقارنه ب 1 hour 15 minutes for each paper which are conducted separately. Paper 1 in Cambridge actually is the most important paper. ليه؟ عليها 70% of the exam mark. عليها 70%. طيب الدرجة بكام؟ الغلطة في كامبريدج بدرجة و6 من 10. طب الغلطة في اوكسفورد اي كيو اي؟ لا، الغلطة بدرجة. طريقة حساب الدرجات مهمة جدا جدا. It's really important to realize how they calculate the marks. You lose 1.6 almost 1.6 marks for each mistake in Cambridge, while you lose only 1 mark for each mistake in Oxford AQA, and this is a real advantage. تمام؟ طيب similar writing genres are common between the 3 examination boards. I'm gonna have to pass. I will depend on the fact that you have taken a screenshot and you can scrutinize through this later. تمام؟ طيب تعال نشوف بقى كده المفروض ايه اللي بعد كده. Now we have a summary of everything. Brief في رغيف. You have a very short comparison between both of them. It's up to you to decide. In my perspective, you should opt for both. طب ليه؟ If you are going to apply for a university here in Egypt, then some universities would be a bit, skeptical about the results you score in Oxford AQA. That's why they favor Cambridge. طب الكلام ده بيحصل فين؟ لا، عندك بقى مثلا universities they credit hours عين شمس، هندسة عين شمس engineering last year, they have actually accepted a student who scored 7 without the need to go through an internal English exam or without the need to ask her for a score in the IELTS exam, compared to other students who scored 9 in Oxford AQA, yet they were asked to try the IELTS with a score of 6.5 before admission. يعني ايه الكلام ده؟ يعني في كامبريدج الجامعات ما زالت بتعتقد ان السكور بتاعه هو الافضل، ودي من الامانه لازم نقولها. اللي جايب 7 كامبريدج في مثلا هندسه عين شمس كريدت السنه اللي فاتت got accepted، تمام، من غير ما يحتاجوا ان هو يدخل امتحان انجلش لغه زياده داخلي، او من غير ان هم ما يحتاجوا ان هو يجيب سكور IELTS. While the students who have only the Oxford AQA A star, they were asked to go through or to sit for an external IELTS exam. تمام؟ طيب زي ما انت شايف هنا دي comparison سريعه جدا. I need you to take a very quick screenshot. Cambridge on the left side of the screen is out of 120 marks. The first paper اللي هي combined paper writing and reading دي 80 marks 70%. Is it challenging in the reading in Cambridge? لا, it's super easy. ايه ده؟ يعني كامبريدج اللي احنا عمالين نسمع عنه اساطير ده, is it easy when it comes to reading? Yes, it is. لا, طيب امال ايه الصعب؟ كامبريدج مالها؟ ايه اللي تشالنج فيها؟ In fact, Cambridge examiners focus on a lot of aspects when it comes to writing, on how original your ideas are. يعني ايه؟ يعني how creative your writing is, how original your ideas are. انت بتجيب افكار كويسه جدا من عندك، بتقدر تعمل لها development. You know how to develop your ideas, how to engage your audience, and how to use vocabulary really effectively. At the same time, they focus somehow on grammatical structures, but they are not as strict as Oxford AQA when it comes to grammar and spelling. طيب جميل، يعني الرايتنج في كامبريدج challenging somehow to a certain extent. طيب امال اخبار الليسننج ايه في كامبريدج؟ Cambridge listening is okay. It is a really scary exam to some people. طب مين هم البيبل دول؟ دولة الناس اللي مش متعودين على الليسننج خالص، اللي هو جاي من الناشونال وداخل وما بيعملش براكتس ليسننج طول حياته. فاول شهر في الاكزامينيشن معانا في الكورس بالذات بتلاقي ايه ده، انا جايب 20 من 40، ايه ده انا جايب 19 من 40. ده اول شهر. طبعا through intensive practice you improve step by step, steady progress is shown، وبعد كده تلاقي نفسك بتطلع ل 22 25 من 40 30 من 40. By the end of January, for example, you would get used to scoring 38 out of 40, 40 out of 40 if you develop the skill really well. ولو انت مشيت على الوصفة وبس، امشي على الوصفة واشتغل كويس جدا. تمام؟ طيب let's say that listening in Cambridge is more challenging than any other examination board. طيب جميل. Listening in Oxford in comparison is relatively easy. It started in 2018 with a very easy exam. جميل، أي حد يقدر يحله. Even I tried it with one of my relatives. He was, I guess, in year 7, and the boy scored 40 out of 40. Pretty outstanding, right? طب امال ايه اللي حصل؟ السنين اللي فاتت بقى بدأت ايه ده، بيدقوا على السبيلنج، مالهم؟ الامتحانات بقت اصعب شويه. تمام؟ It's still relatively easier than Cambridge, but it is not a piece of cake as it used to be. Bear in mind. طيب امال ايه اللي سهل في اوكسفورد؟ اللي سهل في اوكسفورد تجميع الدرجات، انك بتعرف تلم درجات من هنا ومن هنا. انت مش هتجيب سكور عالي اوتستاندينج في اوكسفورد من غير ما تشتغل جامد جدا جدا. Similarly in Cambridge. تمام؟ امال ايه المميز في اوكسفورد؟ طريقه تجميع الدرجات، المستيك الغلطه بدرجه. تمام؟ ان الامتحانات conducted separately، ان عندهم philosophy in correction، ان هم they correct with leniency. يا عم الكلمات الصعبه دي. اوكي، بيصححوا بقلب رحيم. تمام؟ compared to Cambridge sometimes. بس هتتعلم بقى معانا في الكورس ازاي تدي الاكزامينر في اوكسفورد اللي هو عايزه، وازاي تدي الاكزامينر في كامبريدج اللي هو عايزه. لان هنا في عندهم philosophy في الكوركشن رحيمه وجميله في اوكسفورد، لكن when it comes to spelling mistakes, grammatical structures، لا، بتلاقيهم بيلسوعوك. طب وكامبريدج؟ لا، كامبريدج ممكن يعدي لك بعض الحاجات البسيطه جدا في السبيلنج، grammatical mistakes that do not impede communication. طب لما نيجي بقى الحاجات اللي ما بيعديهاش، لا تعالى originality. You need to be very creative. You need to develop your ideas and your thoughts. طيب حد لسه ما عملش سكرين شوت؟ what do you advise me? Okay, very tricky question in the chat box. Thank you Adam Baha. طيب I advise you to opt for what suits you the most. I myself, as a teacher, was really astonished to see one of my students, her name is Ganna, last year in Manarat al-Qahira. She scored a wonderful score in speaking compared to her first trial in the speaking exam. كنتش متوقع خالص ان البنت دي تجيب الدرجة دي في السبيكينج، وانا كنت متوقع ان هي تجيب 8. However, she astonished everybody with a wonderful score. طب ليه؟ لأن it seems that Oxford was the best fit for her. She scored 6 in Cambridge compared to 8 in Oxford. لا، طب في بقى الموضوع ده بيمشي بالعكس مع كامبريدج واكسفورد. عندي student جابت I guess 8 in Cambridge compared to 7 in Oxford. يعني ممكن ده وممكن ده، فما فيش ما تبقاش دماغك مفلطحه، الدنيا فيها رمادي كتير، مش ابيض واسود، ده حلو على طول هي ده وحش على طول، لا. alright, you need to learn how to be a critical person and choose what fits you the most. Okay, I hope I've answered your question here. طيب انا هبص على ال question boxes at the end of the class وهنمشي دلوقتي على the next part of today's session. المنهج بيتوزع ازاي في الكورس مع مستر طاهر الشاذلي؟ The syllabus is divided or classified into 8 different modules. دولت المين modules اللي احنا بنشتغل عليهم. As we conduct classes twice a week, we have one module covered every single month. As you see here on the screen, module 1 اللي هو free time and activities will be covered through 8 classes. بنخلص في ال 8 classes دولت كل حاجة عن الثيم أو عن التوبكس بتاعة free time and activity وبعد كده بنبدأ نمشي module by module. أمال إيه module 9؟ module 9 is dedicated for the revision وده بنوصل له إن شاء الله by the beginning of March. يعني إحنا بنخلص المنهج إمتى؟ by the beginning of March or maybe by the mid بس إن شاء الله السنة دي إحنا عايزين نحط في اعتبارنا كده ونشد حيلنا يا ولاد وده أنا بقوله لك من أول يوم. Day 1 احسب نفسك كده إن آخر يوم في السنة هو 28 فبراير. ده 28 of Feb. ليه؟ عشان رمضان جاي. يلا كل سنة وأنت طيب. إيه اللي بيحصل؟ مفيش بقى خلاص. بندخل بقى في المود بتاع رمضان. المذاكرة ممكن تقع. If you are a serious person and you are taking it very seriously برضو الروتين بتاع الاستادي بتاعك will be interrupted ليه؟ because of the family situations عزومات والجو ده. تمام؟ طيب now let's see what are the most valuable and most important points to consider in order to achieve. بص اللي جاي ده يعني كلام من قلبي من اخوك كبير علشان تذاكر كويس جدا وعلشان تبقى مع اي ماده not only for the English language مع اي ماده انت عايز تعديها وتنجح فيها قوي. ركز قوي في الحاجات دي. خد سكرين شوت حطها عندك كده خلفيه الموبايل بتاعك. ركز قوي في اللي انا هقوله لك ده. Achievers effective habits. يا عم انت اتشيفر ايه؟ على الله حكايتي. انا عايز اعدي بس كده وامشي كده بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم اجيب ستريت سيز كده واخش لا بص ايم هاي. ليه؟ لانك انت لو عايز تبقى في الامان قول انا عايز اجيب 9 بعدين هتجيب 8. قول ان انا عايز اجيب اتشيفر 100 out of 100 200 out of 200 علشان تبقى على الاقل كده جبت لك 192. تمام؟ او جبت 195 او مين يعلم ممكن تجيب اتشيفر. ممكن تبقى اتشيفر في ماده انت ما تعرفش قدراتك ايه. مش جاهز لما اجرب اطلع بعرف. تعال اما اقول لك بقى تعمل ايه. نمبر 1 follow a steady well organized study plan. دي مهمه جدا ومحدش يعملها غيرك. وما تعملكش كاتب كده على الفيسبوك يا جماعه عايز ستادي بلان لماده كذا كذا. لا دي بتاعتك انت محدش يقدر يعملها غيرك. تمام؟ even if you're going to classify 2 or 3 hours a day for all subjects ده معناه ان ده اللي يناسبك. تمام؟ ما تخليش حد do not allow anybody to dictate you how to study. do not allow anyone to plan for you. ليه؟ علشان تبقى انت committed قدام نفسك. follow a steady well organized study plan. هتكلم عن مادتنا مثلا. احنا محتاجين كام ساعة عمل. how many hours do we need throughout the whole course and throughout each and every week in order to develop skills. Okay. Teaching should be conducted through at least 120 hours with the teacher. انت هتقضي معايا 120 ساعة عمل خلال السنة كلها. طب جميل. 120 يعني تقريبا كده approximately 60 classes هنشتغلهم. ممكن نزود في حصة وقت شوية نقلل شوية ندي extra classes for revision. طيب بالنسبة للهومورك بالنسبة بقى وانا بشتغل انا عرفت كده المادة دي English as a second language requires 120 classes with the teacher. How many hours throughout the whole course should I as a student spend on my homework on my extra studies? The same. Pretty much the same. يعني انا دلوقتي لو عندي مادة بذاكرها مع المدرس 4 ساعات في الاسبوع يبقى الهومورك المفروض يكون هو كمان 4 ساعات في الايه؟ في الاسبوع. تمام؟ هتوزع بقى. انا I have 5 subjects 5 times 4 equal حد يقول كام ساعة؟ بسرعة. انا مدرس انجلش بس ضايع في الماث. انت ماشي سمعت صوتكم. صباح الخير. طيب 20 يبقى انا دلوقتي عندي 20 ساعة. ده minimum study time 20 ساعة علشان اذاكر في الاسبوع. هبدأ بقى امسك كده البلان دي وانظمها كويس قوي وامشي عليها. بس هطلع راجل هطلع محترم فيها جدا جدا مع نفسي واكافئ نفسي بعدها. The second thing you need to do، وده انا بشوف ان هو اهم حاجه، انا حطيته السكند بس هو اهم حاجه في الدنيا. adopt a new lifestyle. A new lifestyle that is totally different from your old one in the national, if you are a national transfer student. A new lifestyle that's totally different from yours as a little man growing up to be a young adult. انت خلاص بقى 3 سنين اللي جايين دول يا فندم هم اهم 3 سنين في حياتك. اسال اي حد في اي حته في الدنيا، خلاص اهم 3 سنين بتحدد عليهم انت بعد كده دكتور للابد، يا اما انت محاسب للابد، يا اما او مش للابد قوي بس ممكن يحقق فرق كبير قوي لو انا ركزت جدا جدا في ال3 سنين دول. adopt a new lifestyle. طب النيو لايف ستايل ده فيه ايه؟ معلش اعتبرني عجوز يا عم، خدني على قد عقلي. قلل السوشيال ميديا. حاضر ماشي. لا بجد انا كلام بجد، قلل السوشيال ميديا جدا جدا جدا. try to limit your screen time in general, social media time in particular, to at max half an hour a day. fair enough. نص ساعة في اليوم كده ما تضيعش وقت. انت بتتكلم كده ليه؟ Because statistically speaking, the average teenager spends at least 6 to 8 hours a day on tech devices. ايه ده؟ انت جبت الكلام ده منين؟ منكم. تمام؟ try to calculate the time. بص كده على السكرين تايم بتاعك على الموبايل. يعني انت داخل على لايف ستايل جديد ولازم تركز فيه قوي. اللايف ستايل ده needs you to sleep early. ايه ده؟ قول لي اشرب اللبن قبل ما انام بالمره. لا مش قوي كده، لا نام بدري. طب ليه؟ لو انت بتحب الساينس هتحترم الساينس. الساينس بيقول ايه؟ sleeping early would save you a lot of energy when it comes to studying. ازاي؟ when you sleep at 9 or 10 p.m., this is the exact time your brain needs in order to process the information studied throughout the whole day. طيب ده معناه ان انا لو بسهر واذاكر ده غلط؟ ومش هتفتكر كتير من اللي انت بتذاكره وهتحتاج دحة اكتر. انا السنه اللي فاتت عندي ولد جايب 198 من 200 في كامبريدج، اقسم لك بالله الولد ده كل اللي عمله انه كان بيعمل الهوم ورك بس. انا متاكد جدا لان انا شفت الاتيتيود بتاعه. هو كان رياضي. he leads a healthy lifestyle. his concentration اللهم بارك اللهم بارك is compared to nothing to none. تمام. طب compares to none. امال ايه بقى اللايف ستايل ده؟ تنام بدري علشان تضمن الانفورميشن بتاعتك اللي انت ذاكرته تفتكره سهل جدا. the transferring information from the short-term memory to the long-term memory happens only between the time 10 p.m. لغاية 1 a.m. الدكاترة يأكدوا كلامي. تمام؟ طب أنا لو بفضل سهران سواء بتذاكر أو بتلعب هتبقى نساي وهيبقى باين قدامنا الكائن الزومبي اللي احنا بنشوفه في الكلاسز وبنشوفه في كل حتة، اللي هو مهما اتكررت قدام المعلومة مش فاكر. بينما الولد التاني يقعدوا يتريقوا عليه يقولوا عليه موس ودحيح وما بيعملش حاجه، الراجل بينام بدري كويس. تمام. A healthy lifestyle also requires you to stay away, steer clear from from misinformation on the media. هتلاقي رغي كتير جدا جدا في الاي جي على how to study this how to study that. لا focus with your teacher. تمام. وكمان steer clear from negative vibes and negative people. Finally, use real tools. ايه الريل tools اللي انت بتنصح بيها في اي ماده؟ Number one, samples from candidate responses. دي طبعا apart from teacher's notes, apart from past papers. انا مش عايزك تبقى exam oriented اللي هو بمعنى انك تحل وتبص على المارك سكيم بس، مش ده الكلام. لا، انت عايز تدرس الاكزامينر عايز ايه بجد، والماركينج سكيم is not enough to do so. عشان to achieve a very high mark, look at these two tools only. طبعا في other tools we're going to discuss. I've chosen the two most important tools. ايه هما؟ examiner reports. ايه الاكزامينر ريبورت ده؟ الاكزامينر بيطلع ريبورت بعد كل امتحان. After each and every examination there is a report generated by a group of examiners and signed and written by the principal examiner. بيقول فيه والله 90% من الطلبه غلطوا في الحته دي وكان المفروض يعملوا كذا كذا، ويكتب فيها، حتى بيكتب في الرايتنج suggested vocabulary to use as better alternative to the ones used by students. فاهم قصدي؟ فهذاكر كويس قوي من الاكزامينر ريبورت. هتخيل كده، انا عايزك تبقى ماشي وفي واحد كده متخيل شخصيته والكاركتر بتاعته هو ده البيست فريند، ده الاكزامينر وانت عايز مني ايه وبنتكلم مع بعض. تمام؟ طيب ده منين؟ You will try to create this picture through reading a lot of examiner reports in English, chemistry, biology, everything. This is something that not every teacher will tell you to follow. تاني حاجة exam scripts. ايه الاكزام scripts دي؟ الاكزام سكريبتس برضو الطلبه اللي كانوا موجودين قبل كده في الاي جي وعارفينها كويس قوي، اللي هو الريمارك او السامبل كانديديت ريسبونسز اللي بتجت ريليست باي كامبريدج او اوكسفورد، اللي بتشوف فيها بص اداله غلطه على الحته دي، يا نهار ابيض يا اولاد الذين، ده بيدقوا على دي، ده انا بعملها طول السنه. تمام، يبقى examiner reports and exam scripts. Let's go to the next point, and this will be very dedicated to the English language. أنا عندي 4 skills that you need to improve. هبص كويس قوي على الهابتس اللي عندي في الريدنج. أنا ممكن أكون very slow reader، ودي تبقى كارثة كبيرة جدا if you are a slow reader. slow reader يعني إيه؟ يعني أنت عينك مش متعودة تقرأ سريع. If you understand how your brain reads words, you will easily develop fast-paced reading. طب المخ بيقرا الكلمات ازاي؟ المخ بيبص على صور، بيجمع صور كتير جدا جدا من الكلمة ويبدأ يقراها. For example, if you look at the word how to study or the phrase or the sentence how to study, انت هتلاقي انك قريتها سريع جدا جدا. If in comparison I give you another word, I have a problem with listening, we'll address that. If I give you another word like the word eliminate, if you are not familiar with the word bonanza, if you are not familiar with the word, let's write this word for example on the screen very quickly. This is an example of a word miss. سريعة الكلمة دي تقدر تقراها بسرعة مع انها كلمة طويلة. طيب الكلمة دي can you read it? Can somebody do?
Contemplate.
طيب did your brain exert or use more energy to read this word compared to other words? Yes. ليه؟ لأن مخك مش متعود إن هو يخزن منها صور كتير قوي. إيه الانترودكشن الطويلة دي؟ أنا عايز أقول لك إن مخك بيصور علشان يقرأ. طب ده معناه إيه؟ It means I'm sorry. Did I lose the share screen?
No.
No. The screen is still shared. جميل.
Yes.
Sorry for... طيب ده معناه ان مخك بيصور، دي حته مهمه جدا في كل ماده في الدنيا، مخك بيصور علشان يقرا. ده معناه ان مخي بيصور كلمه واحده. طب لو مخي متعود يصور كلمات كتير جنب بعض يعمل جمله. تمام. طب انت عارف بقى ان مخك ممكن بعد كده من كتر ما هو متعود يقرا جمل كتير you can expect the next phrase and even read it before you see it. تمام. طيب the development of a fast-paced reading هتساعدك ازاي؟ لو انا ما قلتلكش في الامتحان مش بس بيمتحن قدراتك اللغوية. It's not just a language exam, it's a scholastic aptitude test. امتحان قدرات بيشوف انت هتقدر تخلص دول في الوقت الضيق قوي ده ولا لا. That's why those who develop time management are the best. دولت الناس اللي يقدروا ان هم يجيبوا سكور اعلى. تمام. يبقى اول حاجة هركز عليها في reading هو to be a fast-paced reader. The second thing to do is to try to focus really well on your writing skills. ودي مش هتبقى بتاعتك، دي بتاعتنا احنا. سيبها لي خالص، امشي على الوصفة بتاعتنا مظبوط جدا. Follow and trust the plan. تمام. When it comes to listening, this is something that you would help us with. Try to change everything you listen to in the media. It's all English, British English preferably. تمام. English movies that you watch, remove the subtitle يا معلم. اتفرج كده، جرب تعاني وتفتح بقى هو قال ايه، اما ارجع الحته دي واسمع تاني، ارهق ودنك شويه. Try to understand that a word like this. شايفين كده؟ انا عايز حد يقرا لي الجمله دي او الكلمه دي يا ولاد. حد يقراها كده بسرعه.
Give me money.
Give me my money.
Give me my money.
مستحيل تتقال كده. Give me my money. This is how they pronounce it. ما انت هتسمع حد بيقول له give me not give me my money. alright. فعايزك وانت بتسمع تتعود تحلل. This is critical listening here. هو قال دي ازاي؟ يعني مثلا كلمة زي الكلمة دي idea of. هو انت عايزه المتوقع منه ان هو as a British person to stop and say the idea of course not. They will say it like that. The idea of. هتلاقي هنا في letter sound R sound كده طلع زيادة. ايه يا عم ده قال R. ايوه ما هو in order to move from a sound to another some changes do happen. تمام. زي الكلمة دي would you. وانت عايز يقول would you never happen. هيقولوها ازاي؟ ها يلا خليكم شاطرين وقولوا لي هيقولوها ازاي؟
Would you?
would you
would you. ايه ده في ج sound طلع هنا. ده قال would. ايه ده would you. yeah would you. alright. طبعا انا مستريسنج هم ما بيعملوش بالطريقه would you. تمام. بس عايزك تركز تبقى critical listener. هو قالها ازاي؟ والا بقى هتلاقي نفسك يا عيني بتتوه في وسط الليسننج. هو قال كارت ولا قال بارت؟ ما انت مش متعود تسمع. تمام. لو اتعودت هتبقى very acquainted with and familiar with the sounds and how they pronounce them. Finally, when it comes to speaking برضو خليه علينا احنا. تمام. You will attend regular speaking classes and you will be very familiar with how to improve ان شاء الله how to improve your speaking skills. هديكوا بريك صغنطط جدا جدا مع جيمز هنلعبها fun games ان شاء الله مع الفوكابيولري اللي قدامنا دي. I will show you how we as the English team help our students build their vocabulary background. vocabulary بتاعت ابتدائي دي يا كابتن؟ لا. 50% of mastering any language is to improve and build a very good vocabulary notebook. لو انت عايز تبقى جامد في اي لغة vocabulary. هو ايه اللي بيخليك to miss one question or two questions or even to misunderstand an entire writing? Vocabulary, right? In 2019 June examination session, almost 80% of the students, particularly here in Egypt, lost the whole mark for the writing article, for the article question. ليه؟ حد عارف؟ عشان قالوا لهم اكتب عن ايه؟ Write about convenience food. ايه convenience food ده؟ حد عارف؟ يعني ايه convenience food؟ بسرعة. محدش عارف. يعني في meeting
So, what is it again?
convenience food. meeting اهو في عدد كبير كلكم مش عارفين يعني ايه convenience food. So one word makes a hell of a difference, right? يعني ايه convenience food يا ولاد؟ ها انت داخل على جوجل شايفك يعني طلع ها convenience food. What does it mean؟ بسرعة. Nobody؟ طب compared to
بس
fast. ها try.
هيكون
Go ahead.
الأكل المقنع
Sorry؟
الأكل المقنع
الأكل المعلب جميل جدا. أنا مش عارف سمعتك صح ولا لا. Yes. Half prepared food like ready-made pizzas that just need to be thrown in the microwave for a couple of minutes. الأكل المعلب اللي أنت بتجيبه. طب إيه الفرق ما بين convenience food و fast food؟ لا, big difference. Fast food is served in fast food restaurants while convenience food is meant to be prepared at home. تمام؟ طيب ده معناه ان one word makes big difference. Students at that academic year lost, I don't remember, maybe 18 marks or 16 marks on that for one word. خلي بالك لو جالك كلمة يعني كلمة زي كلمة مثلا ايه insurance يعني surveillance. طب contemplate اللي انا لسه قايلها.
surveillance اللي هي كاميرا CCTV.
Okay. Starting with the first word in today's class, it is the word blunt. هنلعب game, the memory game. It will last for 5 to 7 minutes. I'll explain all words. At the end, you guys will be asked separate questions of what the meaning of every word is. The first word is blunt. This is a characteristic of a person when he speaks, when he says something. If somebody is blunt, it means he says what he thinks of. زي ما بنقول عندنا بالمصري كده ايه بيقول للأعور انت أعور فين في عينه. تمام. He's very impolite sometimes and he thinks he tells the truth. Okay. For example, to be blunt عشان ابقى صريح معاك اجيبها لك على بلاطه في وشك كده. To be blunt, I think that what you did or he did was cowardly and pathetic. Cowardly يعني جبان and pathetic. alright اللي بتتكتب في الترجمه في الافلام مثير للشفقه والاشمئزاز والاشمئزاز. alright so to be blunt means to be honest but in an impolite way. Word number 2, it is brash. Say it again, please. Brash. Can you guys do me a favor and say it? What
Brash.
does
Brash.
brash mean? Thank you. If somebody is brash, they are annoyingly loud or overconfident. يعني كلمة loud هنا جميلة جدا جدا. مش loud اللي هو معناها حسه عالي وصوته عالي وبيزعق. لا 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 لا. When he keeps talking a lot about himself, all right, we call him he's so loud. يعني ايه so loud؟ يعني بيهري عن نفسه كتير واخد في نفسه قلم. Okay, so if somebody is a brash or somebody is brash, he is annoyingly overconfident. Okay, and sometimes aggressive. Let's read the example. The TV presenter is far too noisy and brash for my liking. لا 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 الراجل ده صوته عالي قوي بيقعد يتكلم عن نفسه كتير وعن ذلك انا ما بحبش النوع ده. The next word is calculating. But allow me to ask you, what was the first word?
Blunt.
What does blunt mean? ساجدة. ساجدة محمد.
Honest in an impolite way.
Thank you, Sulaf. Okay. Now the second word was تاني كلمة. Memories.
Brash.
What does brash mean, Omar? Thank you, Omar, for answering. Huh?
Annoyingly loud, overconfident.
Or overconfident and annoyingly loud. Is it a positive quality or a negative quality?
Negative.
Definitely negative. Okay. So calculating, if somebody is calculating, they get what they want by careful and clever planning. احنا بنحب الناس اللي زي كده مش دايما, but they are smart at the end of the day. They plan ahead and they get to what they want by planning. بنقول عليهم خبثة بالمصري بس قشطة. تمام. Pressy is disliked by most of his colleagues because of his sly and calculating ways of getting what he wants. الله, يبقى الواد ده بيقعد ايه يوقع ده في ده ويعمل ده في ده عشان يبقى هو ايه مثلا on the top of the class. خلي بالك نصيحة والله من أخ كبير شفتها كتير جدا. في طلبة بتقعد تضحك على الطلبة يقول لهم أنا ما بذاكرش, ده أنا بضيع وقت, ده أنا قاعد ليل نهار مش عارف فين, ده أنا يا لهوي. وبعدين في الآخر الوقت تلاقيه هوب أتشيفر. ضحك عليك, خلي بالك. تمام. The next word is callous. What does callous mean? Guys, come on. It's on the screen. What does it mean?
Cruel.
Cruel and heartless.
Cruel and heartless. All right. His callous disregard of her feelings. ماله upsets her or upset her. تمام. تعالوا نشوف بقى the next word. How many words have we learned so far? أنا خبيت الكلمات أهو. How many words have we learned?
Four.
Four. Jana
Four.
Ahmed. Omar, thank you. Four. Can you recall them? Sorry, just the words without
Blunt,
them.
brash, calculating, callous.
And callous. The next word is cantankerous. Pretty tricky to read and pronounce. مخك أول مرة يشوفها, فاكر لما قلت لك في reading مخك لما يتعود على الكلمة كتير هيقراها أسرع. Cantankerous. What does it mean? If somebody is cantankerous, they are bad-tempered. على طول دايما كده غاضب. عندك واحد صاحبك في الشلة كده اوعى تخرج معاه. تمام. Paul is not an easy person to have as a friend. أيوه هو Paul ده. Paul stands for Paul something ما علينا. Because he is so cantankerous. محدش بيطيعه عشان هو على طول ايه شايط وبيخبط aggressive. Gets angry quickly. Yes, thank you, Timon Yusuf. Am I pronouncing your name correctly, Timon? Timon? Not sure. Can you pronounce your name out loud, please?
Yeah, my name is Timon Yusuf.
Timon, wonderful name. Thank you. Okay, the next word is cheerful. Everybody knows the meaning of, or not usually me. And finally
Happy.
is curt. Curt. What does curt mean? The pronunciation is very important. Curt. What does it mean? If somebody is curt,
Rude.
rude. أيوة. تروح كده جايب له هدية طويلة عريضة ب 300 400 جنيه. ما بالنسبة لك غالية. تمام. وبعدين يقول لك إيه؟ Thank you. لا يا شيخ. يعني أنا جايب لك كل بشكرني ادعي لي طيب قول لي أي حاجة. تمام. أبقى لا, he is curt when it comes to thanking people, his responses. It can also be used when you speak to somebody rudely, in a rude manner. طب تعال نبص كده على example sentence. I knew from his curt tone, يعني ايه tone؟ طريقته في الكلام. That he was angry. متعود ان هو بيستفيض معايا في الكلام. This time he was curt. اداني كده رد سريع قوي. طيب مين فاكر الكلمات اللي خدناها لغايه دلوقتي؟ بسرعه. Come on. That's a challenge. I dare you guys. One person at a time. Raise your hand. Raise your hand. Raise your hand. Raise your hand.
And sir, what should we do?
Try to recall all the words. مين فاكر كل الكلمات؟ ساجدة. Am I pronouncing your ساجدة؟ ساجدة. Yes. Very good. Go. Cheerful. Number one.
calculating.
Calculating. What does calculating mean يا ساجدة؟
لما يكون clever planning.
Very good job. Come on. And he gets to what he wants through clever planning. Next. Good job. 2. Clap for you. Sulaf, you may try. Sulaf.
Yes. Blunt.
Blunt.
Brash.
Brash.
Cantankerous.
Cantankerous.
I mean.
Yes. Shatura.
And cheerful.
Cheerful. How everybody should be. Thank you very much. Now let's go to the next one. اوريهم لكم تاني كده. ركزوا يا جماعه. شفتك وانت بتاخد سكرين شوت عشان تغش. قشطه شغال. Cheating is very important sometimes. تمام. يلا. على فكره it's very smart if you plan ahead and be calculating. خد سكرين شوت وخليك calculating عشان لما اسالك تاني. طيب fickle, what does it mean? If somebody is fickle, they are not faithful. دومش كده loyalty, they are not loyal. Inquisitive along with meticulous, they are totally two different words. In which inquisitive means معناها inquisitive معناها بيسأل أسئلة كتير حشري. He asks a lot of questions. It can be neutral, يعني ما تبقاش ولا وحشة ولا حلوة, and it can be very negative when you try to stick your nose where it shouldn't belong. تمام؟ تعالوا نبص هنا. If somebody is inquisitive, they are always trying to find out about other people. بص كده. She was nervous. The man in front of her was being unusually inquisitive. عمال يسألها أسئلة كتير قوي. تمام؟ And the last word is meticulous. حد خد الكلمة دي قبل كده؟ حد عارف يعني ايه بسرعة؟ Meticulous. What does it mean? طيب. This is the last word. I'm not going to change the whole orientation into a vocabulary session, but meticulous means very careful, and this is an example of how we study vocabulary in our course. Following the study of every vocabulary lesson, there is always a quiz. طب الكويز ده شكله ايه؟ في كل حصة بتذاكر فيها vocabulary جديدة بيبقى بعدها quiz, spelling and meaning quiz based on the previous vocabulary items. كلهم بقى, كل اللي فاتك كانوا 10 كانوا 100 كانوا 1000 بتاخد vocabulary quiz كل session based on them. ده بيكون example of how we link vocabulary to reading. In order to achieve the best result, you need to see the words in more often in various shapes and contexts. عشان تحفظ الكلمة, فاكرين زمان اللي هو اكتب الكلمة وانزل بيها؟ الكلام ده منتهى العقم, يعني ما بيجيبش اي نتيجة. امال ايه النتيجة بتيجي منين؟ لما الكلمة تسمعها مرة من طاهر, ومرة تانية تشوفها في تكست, ومرة تالتة تسمعها في اوديو, ومرة رابعة تجيلك في الامتحان, ومرة في كويز. الكلمة دي عمرك ما هتنساها. لكن الفوكابيولاري اللي انت خدتهم النهارده approximately 8 or 10 words, they will be vanished. They will disappear. ليه؟ عشان مش هتستخدمهم. طب if you want to build a very good vocabulary skill, then you need to use vocabulary very often, and these are some examples of reading vocabulary related to what we have studied. تعالوا نبص كده على أول واحدة. It's talking about Scarlet. You know Scarlet? Scarlet ايه؟ اسمها Scarlet ايه؟
Scarlet Witch.
Johansson. طب تمام. Known as the Black Widow, she is beautiful and sophisticated. She is also poison. Driven by money and power, she will do anything and to get what she wants. She lets nothing stand in her way. Everything is for the taking. Immoral, heartless, and utterly unfeeling. أنا عايزك بقى تحط في الدايرة دي كلمتين من اللي احنا اتعلمناهم بيعبروا عن سكارلت. Can you recall any one or two words?
Callous.
Okay, callous. إيه كمان؟
callous.
Calculating.
Calculating and callous. These are examples of how we link vocabulary to reading. طيب, let's move to the next part, which will be شكله ايه امتحان السبيكينج يا مستر طاهر؟ تعالوا نشوف يا ولاد. امتحان السبيكينج في Oxford AQA is very easy only when you practice really well. You will receive a card similar to this one in the beginning of your exam. The exam lasts for approximately 20 minutes, more or less, and it is of two parts, in which the first part, the photo card, question 1, is similar to this one. يجي لك كارد كده طبعا بيبقى عشوائي. تمام. You don't receive any information about this card in advance. This card is a card of a boy in his living room or in his own bedroom, I guess, maybe studying or maybe playing, listening to music. All what you need to do is to describe what you see in the photo card. And following that, you will be asked some questions related to the picture you see. تمام؟ طيب. هذه أول part, and it is very easy with some practice. There are many tips and hints that you will learn that will help you how to describe the card. طبعا بيبقى في requirement في كل speaking وبقى في عندنا scheme بنمشي عليه علشان to fulfill the requirements of the grades. The second part is the general conversation question part. طب ده شكله ايه؟ This one is just an example. Let's have a look at it. On the screen is a live video, is a recorded video of a simulation of the exam. Just let me know if you can hear the audio that will play.
Hello, hi.
Hello.
This is the Oxford
سامعين الصوت؟
Yes.
Okay.
AQA English speaking test. Theme 1, Identity and Culture. What are the best uses for mobile technology, Basant?
Mobile phones have radically altered the way that people work, socialize, and entertain themselves. From their beginnings as bulky car phones in the 1980s, when they used them only for calling, mobile phones, also known as smartphones, went on to become multimedia communication devices with a level of computing power only seen in desktops short number of years before. And there will be even higher sophisticated level of technology into the making of it in the future. Nowadays, our life literally revolves around them for the remarkable facilities it provides. In other words, we can use them to communicate with our friends or family, and indeed with most of the world's population instantly by live video calling them or by messaging them. Although we were quarantined in home during COVID-19, as a high school student myself, my opinion is that cell phones have been such a beneficial alternative to in-class learning and indispensable tool for all students and teachers. To clarify, we can have online lectures and can send and receive documents, as well as have an easy way to access a lot of information online and through the educational apps. And that's all while saving our time and energy, and most importantly, being safe. We can also use the internet uh, with our phone, where we get to use the social media that surely brought people closer together. Today's mobile phones have made our day-to-day activities much more natural, since not only can we take lots of photos and videos in camera-like quality, but also we can check the traffic, directions, weather, and the latest news. With the advancement of mobile technology, the gaming world is now under one roof, and when we're tired of monotonous work, we can listen to music or watch movies. Moreover, a lot of transactions can be easily done these days. For instance, online banking or online shopping, or even to book a flight to spend a holiday.
I definitely agree, and I second your opinion, in fact. Now, let's see what reasons that motivate people nowadays to play and practice sports. What do you think?
More and more people are
All right. Thank you for watching this part. As you have seen, the student here is well trained to respond to certain topics, and this is the general conversation question. The student gets to they enjoy the liberty of choosing the topics that they would discuss with the examiner, and the examiner at the end of the academic year will be your teacher. In that case, it's if you are a student in my class, it will be me. If you are in a different school than the ones I teach at, it will be your class teacher. However, students enjoy the liberty of choosing and selecting their areas of interest to be in their exam. And this is very normal. The students get trained really well on the responses, and you don't have to worry about what your shyness, about you being a bit timid or shy. It is practice that matters when it comes to speaking. تمام؟ طيب. Any question about the speaking part in particular before we go? Anyone who wants to admit to being very shy, send me a private message. Okay, now let's move to the next part in today's class, which is reading demonstration. I'll keep this very short, or even expel this part and pass it to the next part, which is the writing. تمام? In order to keep our session as short as possible. Writing demonstration. I will take you now, guys. I need you to bring a copybook or a pen and a paper. I'll give you 1 minute to bring your pen and paper. We're going to write. We will learn how to write a successful paragraph. We'll learn how to write a successful paragraph and how to change a very basic and very short paragraph into a very well elaborative and very successful. Now, are you ready? Do you have a pen and a paper? You have 1 minute to bring your pen. Recording. So, what you need to consider first when you write a paragraph is the structure of a paragraph. It is a message that you are trying to deliver through writing one paragraph. And this message or this topic or this entire idea is summarized in the very first sentence, the topic sentence, which is usually in the beginning of a paragraph. So you need to learn that each paragraph has a certain structure, and this structure is of 3 parts. The first part is the topic sentence. Presented here in the screen, it should be a general idea that describes the whole summary of the paragraph, or that summarizes the whole idea of the paragraph. Let's have a look at this example. In the past few decades, the introduction of World Wide Web, the internet, has entirely changed our world to the best. Or it is now one general idea, one simple sentence that introduces what is coming. طب تعالى كده نشوف the second part of an effective paragraph. What does it do? The second part of an effective paragraph is the supporting details part. ده تاني جزء بقى في effective writing paragraph, writing an effective paragraph, to explain what you have just said. Easy? Yes. Let's see. First of all, خلي بالك انت اول حاجه عملتها هنا when you tried to write is to use a linking word. First of all, let me just confirm النوتس كده بالبلاك باك جراوند دي يا ولاد كويسه ولا ممكن اغيرها للوايت؟ ها؟ Is it fine? Okay. So first of all, you use some linking words to introduce the ideas. Linking words زي to begin with. First of all, في حد بعت question بيقول how to learn new vocabulary. I assume that you have just entered the meeting. تمام؟ وبعد ذلك هجاوب سؤالك في الآخر along with all questions. So first of all should be one of the words or the cohesive devices that you use to introduce the explanation of the previously mentioned topic sentence. طيب التوبيك sentence اللي فوق بتقول إن wide world web اللي هي the internet that stands for www الشبكة العنكبوتية الجميلة دي has changed the entire universe, changed the world. تعال نشوف how we're going to explain and illustrate in the following sentences. You can now reach almost everyone on the planet in almost no time thanks to internet-based apps like FaceTime or WhatsApp. يبقى ده أول explanation how the internet changed the world because you can reach anyone on the planet very easily and very affordably. It's no longer a huge world, it's now a tiny little village that we live in. Anything that happens in UK will be known to everyone else worldwide in no time. تمام؟ Furthermore, ودي another linking word that you should use when you write and add further examples. احنا بنعمل ايه دلوقتي؟ You are writing the body paragraph sentences. طب والbody paragraphs بتعمل ايه؟ They explain and support the topic sentence. حد بقى يقول لي what is the function of the topic sentence again? ها؟ Anyone? The function
To
of the
give a
topic
general
Introduce the
idea
main
about
idea.
Yeah, to give a general idea or to summarize the main idea of the paragraph. Now, furthermore, you're using two examples of supporting details. مش كفاية واحدة؟ لا، أنا لازم أقول لك بقى. The more you explain, the better the meaning will be, and the easier the marks you get. تمام? The easier to get the marks. Furthermore, having internet in the hands of every student and teacher revolutionized the learning process. Don't you agree? Especially with the help of modern apps like Google Classroom or Zoom, which are pretty much the ones we're using right now. طيب هنا أنا عندي example ل topic sentence followed by two explanatory sentences. فيهم إيه؟ فيهم one idea, internet has changed the world, with two examples. الإكزامبل الأولاني عن إيه؟ عن communication, how World Wide Web changed the way we communicate. الإكزامبل الثاني بقى عن إيه؟ ها حد يقول لي، حد ذكي جامد جدا يقول لي عن إيه؟ ها what is it about? Is it about communication as well, the second sentence? Or is it about Furthermore, having internet in the hands of every student and teacher revolutionized the learning process. The learning process دي بنسميها ايه يا ولاد؟ Education. بنسميها education. يبقى أنا I have supported my idea that internet changed the entire planet by mentioning two examples. The first example is about communication, and the second is about شاطر education. Very good job. Now في آخر واحدة خالص اللي clincher أو the concluding sentence بعمل فيها إيه؟ تبقى جامد لو قلت لي من غير ما أشرح. Try to guess. What should we do in the concluding sentence of a paragraph?
بنحط كل المين idea.
Paraphrase the main idea again. Mention the main idea again. Okay? Let's see that. Should I write the same topic sentence verbatim? ايه الكلمة دي؟ طاهر قال كلمة غريبة قوي. ايه الكلمة دي يا ولاد؟ اللي هيقولها يبقى شاطر قوي. كلمة بتقول verbatim. يعني ايه verbatim؟
very important word. معناها ايه بقى؟ word for word. كان واحد بيسألني من شوية how to build my vocabulary. Read a lot. Whenever you see a new word just pause. اقف. كلمة ايه؟ واجيبها في context وافتح dictionary. وده الديكشنري اللي انا بوصي بيه كل الستودنتس بتوعي. اسمه ايه؟ Cambridge Advanced Learner Dictionary. طب الديكشنري ده انت ممكن تعمل فيه ايه؟ ممكن تكتب كلمة زي كلمة verbatim. تمام؟ وكمان تسمعها
verbatim,
تمام in two different
verbatim,
accents, verbatim or verbatim. تمام؟ وبعدين تسمع تشوف المينينج بتاعها using exactly the same words as were originally used. وتشوف كمان ايه example sentence. اقول لك على حاجة احلى، ممكن كمان تحطها add to favorite. This is a dictionary available online. تمام؟ يعني مثلا ممكن تشوف كده ان انا حاطط favorite words on the left side. تمام generated by every time I add a favorite word to my vocabulary list. وتلاقي نفسك at the end of the day or at the end of the month or at the end of the year you have a very long list of favorite vocabulary. I advise you guys to download it or to find it online. The dictionary again, take a screenshot at Cambridge. I'm writing it here. Cambridge Advanced Learner's Dictionary 4th edition اللي هو الانتاج الرابع والاصدار الرابع بتاعه. It's available for Android, available for iPhone. طبعا شكلي بعمل اعلان تمام، بس it's a very successful one. Available for free لو انت هتستخدمه as a website او لو هتنزله as an application برضو موجود. تمام. طيب هنرجع تاني هنا. This is the paragraph. Should I use the same exact sentence اللي انا استخدمتها فوق word for word copy and paste؟ لا.
No.
paraphrase it يا معلم. طب ايه الفايده يا طاهر؟ يعني انت عمال تقول لي ابدا بالمين ايديا، ما انا بدات بالمين ايديا. support your ideas. I have already supported my ideas. طب ليه لازم اعيد تاني؟ هقول لك انا. You have made your point. Repeating it means you are instilling the idea in the mind of the listener. كلمة جديدة قدر ما اقول لك عليها. instill. اللي هيقول لي معناها ايه هبعت له 100 جنيه. instill. INSTILL. I'm not sure is it ILL or not.
Like a
تأكيد.
place in the mind.
One L. It's one L. What does instill mean? عارف to gradually add feelings or ideas or to brainwash somebody. Equal, very close to brainwashing. Instill to put a feeling, an idea or principle gradually into someone's mind. تمام? Back here. Instill is one L. Sorry. Okay. طيب مهم قوي to repeat the idea mentioned in the topic sentence in your concluding sentence علشان اللي يتعاد يثبت الزن على الودان. تمام. Now let's have a look at other examples. But before we do so, I would like to have some questions. Go ahead. Somebody said Mr. حد كان بيقول Mr. Feel free to ask. زي اخوك. بسرعة.
انا كنت عايز اجاوب بس فاهم.
انت جامد جدا يا ادم. تمام. Now read the following topic sentences then complete them. or المفروض هنا تبقى them not it. بكتب بسرعة وانا بشرح. Complete them into a paragraph of at least 4 sentences. انا عايزك بقى تطلع جامد جدا وتختار one of the 4 topic sentences. Number 1, for many reasons, naturalists. يعني ايه naturalists؟ خلي بالك اوعى confuse this word with nutritionists. لا naturalists. يعني ايه naturalists؟ naturalists. My assistants please keep students who has noisy mics on the mute. يعني ايه naturalists يا ولاد؟ بسرعة. حد عارف؟ Hurry up.
Interested or studies nature.
People who are interested in the study of nature. And animal rights activists think of zoos and as a threat to the animals. ممكن تاخد ده وممكن تاخد التاني اللي هو recently there has been a huge increase in the number of people who shop online due to the numerous benefits this approach offers. تمام؟ خد أي واحد من دول وهنلعب لعبة جميلة جدا مع بعض. تايم بقى هحط لك كده 5 minutes on the screen to finish writing a paragraph. You will send it to everyone in the chat box. يلا بينا. In your paragraph, يلا ابدأ اتكلم وانا اكتب وانا بتكلم. In your paragraph, you will, number one, Nermeen, have you raised your hand? Nermeen?
Yes. Can you please assign me as a co-host?
Sure. Okay.
Me too.
طيب. I will. طيب. Number one, make sure you've written a very clear topic sentence. It should be a simple sentence, not a complex one, with clear idea. ودي مكتوبه لك already. خلاص يبقى انت هتاخد التوبيك sentence بتاعتي وهتعمل لها ايه؟ I will go to step number 2. What is the second part of a successful paragraph يا ولاد؟ النهارده احنا بنتعلم بس الاستراكشر بتاع الباراجراف. ايه second part of a successful paragraph؟ حد يقول لي كده؟ About what يا آدم؟ واحد من ال 4 given topics. What is the second part of a successful paragraph again؟ ها؟ حد يقول؟ Come on.
Using sophisticated vocabulary.
No. This is part of every sentence. The second part of a successful paragraph is what we call supporting details. Supporting details. What is the function of the supporting details? بتعمل ايه supporting details in a paragraph؟ حد يقول لي بسرعة برضو. ها؟
Support my idea. My general idea.
Explain and support ideas. And what is the third part of a successful paragraph? Quickly. ها؟
Concluding sentence.
Concluding sentence.
What do we do in the conclusion, everyone? Come on.
Summarize what
We
we wrote.
rephrase the first paragraph.
And I've tricked you and have stolen 2 minutes of your time. بسرعة يلا ابعت paragraph in the chat box. You have 3 Okay, try to send your paragraph in the chat box, please. Make sure you're sending it to everyone. Choose the everyone option. I'm texting. Send it here. Time is up. You guys now should send your paragraphs. Which topic did you choose to write about? Disadvantages of media, internet. Okay. طيب ها. I will answer some questions while you guys are writing. Someone said, Mr. Where do we access the vocabulary list you shared? Later, when you join the course, you will have access to the course material. I can also go back to the slide and allow you to take a screenshot, but later when you join the course, you will have full access to the material through either buying them as soft copies or buying them as hard copies from the bookstore. We have a very well-designed book package in which you have note book, practice book, which is all about reading and other related vocabulary and grammar skills. In the same practice book, you have access to all the vocabulary lessons, more than 30 vocabulary lessons, very well designed for you. And you also have access to the classified writing, which all types of writing that you might encounter in the exam, carefully selected and chosen based on the themes and units. فاكرين الunits اللي قلناهم in the beginning, تمام. And finally, you have the past papers and the other books that we use in practice. Now, مين جاهز يبعت الباراجراف؟ Come on يا جماعة، يلا. Send your paragraph in the chat box. Everyone, I will ask each and everyone. I'm not gonna pass this point until you send me. عاش قوي Timon Yusuf, thank you. Looks like you gonna be a wonderful student. I will read Timon's paragraph. Okay, that's Omar. Thank you, Omar Shaheen. طيب, I'm gonna read the paragraphs, even try to bring them on the screen here. This is the chat box, you can see it. It's on the screen. We're now going through Timon's paragraph. عايزكم بقى to play the teacher role here. You have learned 3 aspects about a successful paragraph. Aspect number 1, a very clear topic sentence. Aspect number 2, it is a very clear, well-developed background information. الكلام اللي احنا بنقوله ده might seem primitive, شكله بدائي شوية وتعلمته في year 7 or year 6 or even earlier than that, but it is very important to stress on the quality of your paragraph. تعالوا نشوف. Naturalists are worried about animals. الراجل ده غير topic sentence. You might ask why. That's very creative of you. ليه? Because it meets the expectation of the examiner of how original your ideas are. كده يحبك الإكزامينر في كامبريدج أكتر وفي أكسفورد كمان. Well, naturalists think that keeping animals in zoos is bad for the animals' health as they don't live in their natural habitat. That's why طبعا هنا في comma splice حاجة هنتعلمها في الكورس بعد كده أو run on sentence when you write 2 independent clauses separated by a comma, which is a mistake, grammatically a mistake. That's why naturalists fight against the imprisonment of animals. جامد جدا. عمل ايه؟ عمل well-designed paragraph. طبعا المفروض قبل that's why يبقى فيه full stop عشان يبقى دي concluding sentence. supporting sentence اللي هي بتبتدي ب you might ask why اللي بتبدأ هنا دي you might ask why well naturalists think that keeping animals السنتنس دي general قوي. يعني ايه general قوي؟ يعني
المفروض تبقى فيها تفاصيل أكتر details more details زي إيه what could have the student added here to make the development of his idea more successful well he should have spoken about animals activities that can only be done in the wild in details he should describe it تمام like running like hunting like practicing their basic life skills for lions for example or other predators تمام it's a successful paragraph anyway thank you Timon it will score let's say 6 out of 10 good job تعالوا نشوف اللي بعده ما جاليش الا 2 يا فصل جميل send your responses please thank you تعالوا نشوف كده عمر شاهين recently there has been a huge increase in the number of people who shop online due to the numerous benefits of this approach offers use the same topic sentence تعالوا نشوف بقى هو عمل development ازاي ايه اول حاجة كويسة هو عملها تقدر تقول لي try to tell me ها في حاجة كويسة جدا هو عملها in the very beginning of the
words.
linking words good job thank you Dareen Osama okay he used recently in the beginning وكمان استخدم firstly بأن he's going to list ideas firstly there are various benefits to shopping online instead of going to the real store كويس جدا ايه هم number one let's see for example another very good link word there is no need to leave your house and you can read the benefits of the offers and discounts online shopping provides جميل he is trying to apply to people's comfort he's trying to approach you through touching your comfort zone انت عايز تبقى قاعد ومريح كده ومستقنيس مستمخ كده وقاعد ويجي لك الحاجه لغايه عندك ف this is an emotional approach هو عمل حاجتين جامدين هنا اتكلم على حاجه انت هتحبها قوي he's trying to be interesting he's trying to win your attention and he tried to approach you through using pronoun you this is very successful when it comes to writing a good paragraph تعالوا نكمل بسرعه كده furthermore usage of online shopping has spiked due to increasing prevalence of the internet جميل هي المين ايديا كانت بتقول ايه في increase في الاونلاين شوبينج اكتيفيتي وهو بيبرر الانكريس ده ليه علشان الناس بقى معاها سمارت فونز وانترنت everywhere تمام very to the point حاجه مهمه جدا جدا في الرايتنج never be irrelevant اوعى تحط سنتنس ملهاش علاقه بالموضوع تروح في داهيه as far as you are to the point you will get the mark even with some minor mistakes تمام تعالوا نشوف كده all of this has made online shopping a widely used medium I love your paragraph it's wonderful تمام thank you very much I would grade it 9 out of 10 or maybe 10 out of 10 تمام معلش انا بخيل شويه thank you very much I should thank you again Omar Shaheen speak up Omar Shaheen where are you
Yes.
thank you for attending proud of you تعالوا نشوف بقى سلاف البيلي am I pronouncing your name really well Sulaf
Yes.
have we met before Sulaf because I had a student with the same name last year
I'm not sure, but I guess.
not sure خلاص because the other Sulaf had taken a selfie with me 2 days ago okay nice meeting you in my meeting room anyway
You
in the
too.
beginning people have been shopping online have found it easier people who have been shopping online have found it easier to communicate through the internet as they don't have to overwork themselves as people have become lazy these days okay the sentence is a bit long which makes it a very large bite that you can't swallow ايه ده هو السنتنسز دي زي slices of pizza كده yes you can plug the arteries and the mouth of the person if you give him 4 slices of pizza at the same time أما المفروض الواحد يدي ايه يدي one slice one sentence at a time or maybe 2 combined sentences at a time or 3 sentences in a complex compound sentence. اللي انت كاتباها دي maybe more than that يخليها sentence طويلة قوي hard to understand. طب اعمل ايه؟ Split it into 2 different sentences. The ideas are good, the vocabulary is fine, but the punctuation problematic. تعال نشوف كده. المفروض احط full stop فين مع سلاف؟ المفروض I need to end the first idea when she said through the internet full stop here. تمام؟ وبعد كده ابدا sentence جديده. She said, and they don't have to overlook themselves as people have become lazy these days, comma, it is also more beneficial more beneficial as it has more offers and sales. The repetition or the redundancy of it is easier. Okay, that's my daughter knocking on the door. Sorry for that. All right. It is also more beneficial and so on, makes it redundant. Try to vary in the style. It's a good paragraph anyway. Let's carry on. Further and more. That's one word, not 2 words, Sulaf. Thank you. Furthermore must be followed by a comma. Internet has made life more easier and less complicated. السنتنس الأخرانية بتاعت سلاف دي هي concluding sentence. ده معناه إيه؟ معناه إن السنتنس دي المفروض تضيف فكرة جديدة ولا to conclude the paragraph to conclude it. أحط بقى furthermore ولا in conclusion يا ولاد؟ بسرعة قولوا لي ها.
In conclusion.
Okay, so bear in mind, not any cohesive device can be used anywhere. It should be relevant to the meaning. قشطة؟ Back to business. ده كان part or an example of how we tackle writing in our class. Very primitive and very simple. شوف كده الباوربوينت مش عايز يشتغل. ثانية واحدة. هنرجع دلوقتي لآخر حاجة خالص. We are like 5 minutes away from finishing everything and we are here with the next point in today's discussion. Second. Which are about past results and feedback. I'm going to show you guys some examples of last year results on the screen now. It's very important for you to know which team are you working with, and our team is very professional, and we've lost the pictures. Okay, 1 second. All right, I'm gonna pause the recording. The plan meticulously and strictly. طيب دي كده examples. I'm that kind of person who claims to be honest about his results. أنا بحط results زي ما هي. فأنت شايف هنا مثلا دي كده results per school and these are the nines, the students who scored 9s, their names along with the schools. Also students who scored 8s, 7s. I've even included those who scored 6. I'm not scandalizing. خلاص بسرعة. The next point that you need to know, your name will be among the students who score 9 only if you work really hard. اشتغلت كويس جدا. Adopt a very successful lifestyle. Stay clear or steer clear from negative vibes. Trust your teachers, trust the process, and it will take you to the right place where you belong. تمام. Now let's meet our team. I am honored to have to be a colleague of a very successful team. Some of them are here. Meet my assistant Nermeen. Hi Nermeen.
Hi, Dr. Tahir.
Hello Jana, another assistant that you will meet a lot or see a lot during our course. Mr. Mu'taz, I'm not sure whether Mr. Mu'taz is here or not. Hello Mr. Mu'taz.
I am here.
Hello Mr. Mu'taz. Hello Mrs. Yasmin. Everybody come on, assistants, try to turn your cameras on and wave to the students. This is these are some information about me, Tahir Elshazli, and these are the co-teachers and assistants, or some of them. The paper or the page didn't
wouldn't fit to include everyone. تمام. طيب تعالوا نشوف كده الاسسمنت تايم لاين بتاعنا. احنا عندنا weekly quizzes, monthly tests, and they are very strictly timed, and you guys will be met by the very first one of them اللي هو ايه September assessment. دايما اول حصه في اي كورس بنبقى امتحان. تمام. امتحان ايه ده؟ ماما هتعرف؟ لا مش هقول لها. ماما معانا في الميتنج بس انا مش هقول لها، ما تقلقش. سرك كبير. اوكي. The assessment will be held to show you as a student where you stand in every skill. يوريك كده انت واقف فين في كل skill. This is the September assessment followed by weekly quizzes and monthly tests. The most important exam is the mid-year exam, and the more important ones are the the mock exams which take place in March and in April. طبعا الكونكلوجن بتبقى in June إن شاء الله لما تاخد الامتحان الأخير. And this is the assessment timeline. I hope you guys are taking screenshots. The next is hello.
Hello.
Is my voice clear to everyone?
Yes.
Okay, just changing device. Is it back to the norm again? واضح الصوت كل حاجة؟
Yes.
Yes.
And this is another part of what we do in my class. واضح الصوت يا ولاد؟
لا مش قوي.
In order for you to attend a successful online class, there has to be a very high quality camera, a very good device. Is my voice clear to everyone again? Shabab?
Yes, it is.
Okay, very good. Finally, this is how we run our online classes, either through video conference زي اللي احنا عاملينها دي كده مثلا. تمام. او ممكن الشرح بيكون على السكرين الكبيره اللي ورايا دي. ساعات بقى بنستخدم التو ميثودز اللي هو shared screen والبيج سكرين اللي ورانا. تمام. Time for questions. يلا بينا. I will answer questions sent in the chat box first, وبعد كده هنبدأ بالأسئلة الأورال أو الأسئلة اللي انتوا بعتينها معانا هنا. Is my voice clear? Can you see the screen?
Yes.
حلو قوي. هنبدأ بالأسئلة البيسك اللي في الأول خالص. How to be fast reader. I'm sure I've answered this question before. صح؟ حد بيقول تأمين كان بيجاوب على الكلمات. Okay, we have. Okay, other questions, please. Send your questions in the chat box or raise your hand and I will allow you to answer. Who wishes to ask a question? When will the course start? By the 21st of September, inshallah. يعني خلاص هو فاضل كام يوم. Okay. Any other questions? 4 more questions. I understand that some of you have sent paragraphs, but I didn't have quite enough time to go through. I will and reply privately. Miss Yasmin, please send the WhatsApp group link. Miss Yasmin? Thank you. Okay. Everybody, there is a WhatsApp group link, especially for those who joined through Login Courses platform, or only for those who joined through Login Courses platform. For the rest of you, please send your names privately to the assistants. يلا شباب, assistants, raise your hands. عندكم 2 اسمهم assistant في الكلاس. Assistant نرمين و-assistant جنى و-assistant مريم باسم كمان. كده 3 ومعانا مستر معتز assistant 4. Send your name
school. I'm writing the details required. Name, school, country of residence, phone number, especially the WhatsApp phone number, to the assistants in the chat box privately now, please, before you leave the meeting. Do not leave the meeting without doing so. For students who registered through login courses, please join the WhatsApp group, especially for login courses. Thank you very much, everybody, for attending today's class. I'm really proud of you. I wish to meet you soon in my course and classes. I'll be very proud of you, inshallah, when you achieve your desired grades. Any questions before we go?
Mister.
Yes, Adam? Or Adam, ask me privately, please. Any questions? Yes, Jana Yahya, hi.
Hi, I'm asking about it. Is the course Cambridge and Oxford?
No, there are
like a combined course?
No, it's not a combined course. There are designated times for Cambridge and other times are available for Oxford AQA. Oxford AQA will be on Mondays and Wednesdays, starting at 4:30 p.m., while Oxford AQA starts on Mondays and Wednesdays for you group B, at 6 p.m., inshallah. You are the second group, and we will start on the 21st of September. هيبقى في announcement تاني على الصفحة بتاعتنا. مستر معتز, please send the link to the Facebook fan page in the chat box to everyone to follow. Stay tuned for further information. And please make sure you fill the PDF, the Google form link in the fan page. And for login courses students, join the WhatsApp group. Any more questions? Thank you, Abdullah. Type. Assistants, are you receiving the, yes, go ahead. Are you receiving the names, school, country, and phone number assistants? Please.
Yes.
Okay.
What should
Type.
I send again to the assistant?
Okay, it's to my assistants or to one of them, send your name, school, country of residence, and phone number, WhatsApp phone number. Thank you. Any more questions? I will give 2 or 3 silent moments of the